It's nice and sunny, so I hope to be short and sweet. um, it's really good to be here. And graduates, it's good to see you all. Shining, it's really good to see you all. You know, the first time I set foot on a plane, bound for a country that was much bigger than St. Vincent and the Grenadines, was a dream come true for me. You know, I had created that trip in my mind for a long time, and it came through. During the turbulent flight, at one point, I felt like the plane was about to drop out of the sky. But all that didn't matter because I was around other people, and my mom made sure that I took Jesus along with me on my journey. So I started to pray to him for safe deliverance, right then and there in front of everybody. My prayer was short but faithful. It went something like this. Oh God, how we didn't know. Lord save us, mighty Jesus, and bless the pilot too. Because he needs to see where he is going, so that we end up safely where we are all going. We arrived at our destination safe and sound, without a scratch. A little pony country boy from Sandy Bay was riding on big plane on his way to do big things. Everything about the plane ride was nice. It was my first time. I was living my dream riding big plane, jumbo jet at that. Whether economic class at the time, first class or last class, that did not matter. I was glad to be living my dream. I was riding on big plane. Where I was going, I knew. It was always on my mind. What I was going for, I knew. It was always on my mind. How it was going to go, I didn't know. All I knew at that time is that I had one shot, one opportunity, and I was going to take it and get what I went for before returning home. That, my friends, was always on my mind. Honorable Montgomery Daniel, Parliamentary Representative for North Windward, Deputy Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Minister of Transport and Works, Lands and Informal Settlement. Dr. Agelia Ferdinand, representing the Ministry of Education, Principal Mr. Brandon Child, Deputy Principal Ms. Raquel Warwick, other principals, Mr. Stiles, Mrs. Nero, Mrs. Roberts, other invited guests, Dr. Grace Walters, and Mr. Hooper, all friends, family, loved ones, a pleasant good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Your theme captured my attention. It says, creating visions that would stare a brighter future. I live by this creed every day. As the Bible says, whatever a man soweth, that shall he reap. For me, this means if you don't sow, you cannot reap. See this as a gentle reminder, young ones, of how important it is to dream those big dreams. Big dreams of the future life, the good life, and the success all have to be planted now, in the present time, to bring a bright future. The power of now, as someone calls it. Sandy Bay Secondary School, I salute you. And I am here to cheer you on to victory. And I already see a bright future coming for you. I am here to remind you that you can achieve whatever you set your minds to. So go ahead, create, envision, and stare. Stare directly into the bright future that you want for yourself. You used to write future with me, some of you. Remember? We are all here to cheer you on, graduates of 2023. You have made it thus far. We are here to let you know that when you win, did you hear what I just said? When you win, we win. When you win, we all win. Also specially invited guests. Same for you. When you win, we all win. You are here. You have made it thus far today, and we applaud you. Let's give our graduates a big round of applause. Young leaders of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, when you smile, we smile too. When you light up your future, we all enjoy the brightness thereof. Far from there. Far from there, sorry. We are for you, and we stand with you in love, in unity, and we will never let go. As I speak, I am conscious that I speak in representation not only of us here on the island of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but for all proud Vincentians around the world. Many do not know, but there is a Vincentian is in almost every part of the world. Just by looking at you students and hearing your choral speech the last time I was here, I can tell that the village represented by our graduates today are looking on to see our children grow and fly up, up and away, and returning to help us build our beautiful country of SVG. Work on your success. Carefully choose your path. Waking up to your dreams, making waves and turning heads. This is the time to be relevant. Time for us to achieve more goals. Knowing that once you can imagine it, you can achieve it. Once you can create it in your mind, you can bring it to reality. Let us look a little closer at creating visions. I teach conceptualization, and that is the creation of an idea. It starts in the mind. Knowing that once you can imagine it, you can achieve it. Once you can create it in your mind. You can do the same thing when it comes to thinking about your future. You could start creating a beautiful future right here in your mind. You have to create that vision mentally, and then it will come into a reality. It's called faith. Christians call it faith. Others call it hope. At the end of the day, this is what we all are working on to be successful. I mean, think about it. This beautiful building here, as we heard the former speakers talk about it, and the future ones to come. Think about it. An architect, before he presents his work, he starts right here in the mind. He starts thinking of a specific design for a specific building. And you know, in his mind, he thinks about it over and over. Then he puts it down on paper. And he perfects it and then makes a blueprint. He then takes that blueprint from his idea and gives it to a constructor. That constructor then makes the final product. Like this one. Look around and you would see. This all came from one person's idea. The same can be for you, graduates and Vincentians all abroad. We can do the same. We can achieve in the same way. It seems to me that it is very important that we be careful what we spend our time thinking about, looking forward to, because eventually it will become our reality. You have a magnificent mind that God gave you, and if you sharpen it and give it the right thoughts and focus, you could move mountains. Another Bible verse says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Keep thinking of goodness and greatness. Don't just want things to happen to you. Expect good things to happen to you. We are all coming from the same roots, from the same dreams of our ancestors, the same family. So yes, we are looking on. We are cheering you on, sometimes from behind the scenes. Yes, I felt it when we didn't get that cricket championship this year. Right? I felt it when we didn't make it in the soccer championship as well. We're all looking on. Why did I feel it so much? Because I would brag everywhere I go. I would tell people everywhere that, you see, we are a talented people over the river. Our moms and dads are some of the best carpenters and masons, farmers and tradesmen living north of the island. And as far as sports is concerned, I would also brag anywhere I go in this world that we are also the best at sports too. If West Indies really want to win often, they better start putting Vincentians on their team. We are coming from a nation of very skilled and versatile people. Once we learn to do something properly, we take it over. We dedicate ourselves to it, we become better and the best at what we do. Listen to this. Whether good or bad, the choice is yours. I usually say, choose the good. Choose the good things to focus on. Now let us play a game of what if. What if, graduates, this whole country needed your contribution of ideas to lead them into a brighter future? What ideas would you have in mind? And which ones will you share with us? Can you see yourselves on Big Plane 2? Going to do big things too? Alright. What if each day you get older, and as you get older, time gets less and less to decide what it is you want in life? How soon will you start thinking about yourself and creating a vision of yourself in the future? Will you start next year, next month, next week, sometime around the corner, or will you start today? It does not cost a thing to conceptualize, meaning to think about good things, to have a bright future, to mentalize what you would like to see or who you would like to be in the future. Graduates, friends, and colleagues, I'm urging you to have big dreams and work on your big dreams. Write it down if you have to remind yourself each day. See yourself doing the things you love. No crimes. Be careful with the crimes. See yourself being that successful person you want to be. See people smiling. See people happy to have you around. See yourself contributing to, in my opinion, the most beautiful and friendly nation in the world, right here, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Set your own minds and create beautiful thoughts about your country and yourself. Have a sincere and genuine positive view of life and be sincere with people. Show the love for self and for country. With a positive attitude, good manners, and good behavior, you can achieve what you want. And like my mom used to say, take Jesus also with you. We the adults don't always get to tell you, the young ones, how much we cherish you. So I'm here to remind you as well, Sandy Secondary School students, we cherish you and we love you. Don't waste time. Time is a precious gift that lasts just for a while, then it's gone and cannot come back. So be mindful of distractors. I'm not saying that you should not enjoy your gadgets. I'm not saying you shouldn't enjoy the little phone here and there. But use the gadgets. Don't make the gadgets use you. What I mean, the other day, I went to the beach and I saw a group of young people. And they were so busy taking selfies and making duck mouths and so on. It seemed like they forgot to take a bath, to swim. Not one of them took a swim at the beach. They were so caught up in these modern gadgets. So be careful not to be too distracted. I'm not saying do not socialize, but when you do, be picky about it. Choose carefully your company. Choose carefully who you listen to and what you focus on. And also be conscious of the environment in general. As one person puts it, if you spend a lot of time among bakers, then one day you should be able to bake any cake or any bread. So choose your company carefully. Drop the negative ones and stick to the positive. Like attracts like. Positive input gives positive results. Stay focused on your dreams. Start today. Start thinking of who you want to be in the future. At this age, sometimes we don't really think about those things, but it's a good time to start thinking. It's a good time to start focusing. See yourself in the near future. Make reading great again. Read all about it. Don't forget to read. I didn't say watch the movie version of it. Read. It's very good and it's good for your imagination as well. Also, be careful and take good care of your health. As we all say, health is wealth. So, you see, your minds work like a huge ship, and you are the captain. Wherever you steer your ship, it will go. I remember I was on a ferry going to a place. I won't say where. Let me see if you would figure it out. On the radio the other day, I heard someone sing a song, and the line started like this. Everybody wants to go to England. My dream is to go.
Ecuador.
What is this? Everybody wants to go Canada. My dream is to go. You hear tunes? I laughed at the song. And to my surprise, I heard a little voice of my 6-year-old singing along. Just like you here, singing Beckway. I thought, wow, this singer knows how this thing works. About dreaming to go here or there. And that is where it all starts, with a dream. With you creating mentally. Because those who dream to go end up going. And those who don't dream, well, they don't get to go. So with dreams, no creativity. We look something like this. I was in a conversation on a ferry going down to Beckway, and I said, whoa, the waves are a bit high today. But the captain knows what he is doing, man. Then someone next to me pointed to a man in deep conversation with another sailor, sitting next to one of the lifeguard boats. I said, why are you pointing at that man? The person said to me, it's because he's the captain. I said, what? So if he is the captain, we are all here. Who is steering this boat? The person said, don't worry, man. It's on autopilot. You won't know where to go. I said, well, that's very interesting. I was speechless. But it was amazing that the boat, once you set the coordination and the code, it knew exactly what to do and where to go. Unfortunately, we don't want to be able to set life on autopilot. It's good when we make our own decisions, when we make our own choices. So we don't just say, okay, autopilot and let's go. When I think of success, I think of so many wonderful people right out of Sandy Bay, Oya, Fancy, Orange Hill, Overland. I think of Kamal Hoyt, for example, a world-class chef from Sandy Bay. We used to have and still have some of the best barbers, and you heard a while ago the wonderful singing, talented musicians and singers. Auto mechanics from Overland, London Point, or Sandy Bay. I think of Paminos Valentine, a champion long-distance runner from over the river. And many may not know, or be reminded, let me remind you now that our very own Mr. Child, our principal, was once our coach for athletics and any sport actually that took place in the community. Mr. Child, thank you for sharing your knowledge and enthusiasm with all of us and our young people, and for still being here for the young ones. Also, King Tadro, as I call him, same thing. Miss Valentine, Miss Warwick, and all of our dearly beloved teachers. After all, we are still here. I respect you, and thank you, and thank God for all of you. Because of people like you, we have nurses, skilled farmers, divers, drivers, lawyers, medical doctors and practitioners, teachers, police officers, businessmen and women, scientists, preachers, sportsmen and women, politicians, tradesmen, and many more. I want to share a brief family story with you in closing. When I was about 8 years old, my little brother was born, and he was a bit ill. So my mom took him to the doctor. I remember vividly, I had just gotten home in Level to meet my house locked, and the neighbor told me that nobody was home. My mom was gone, dad was gone. And in those days, we had no electricity above the dry river. Anybody remember that? So you can imagine how dark it was when it got dark. Still in my primary school uniform, the neighbor told me, Mom went to take my brother to the hospital. Coming home to that news, I decided that I was going to run to to Kingston. Why run, you may ask? One, it was getting dark soon. And two, no hot vans were available in those days. So you had to hop on somebody's truck or pickup and hope they give you a ride, right, on their way down. I was determined to meet my mom in Kingston, so I started to run. I ran and ran until a man named Mr. Henry, used to sell ice over the river. Anybody remember that? Yeah, man. So he gave me a ride to Georgetown. And then from Georgetown, a van driver also, he saw this little oldie boy walking around hysterically. And he decided to ask, what's he? This is where you going? So I said, I'm going to meet my mom. And he said, so where's your dad? I said, well, I don't know, but I am going to meet my mom. So he said, all right, come in. And he put me on the backrest. I don't know if you still ride on backrest these days, but I had to sit on the backrest and I got to ride all the way to Tokyo. When we got there, he said, well, this is it, you know. Little boy, you sure you know where you're going? I said, yes, I know. I am going to meet my mom. I was determined, and nobody could tell me I was going to meet my mom on that day. So he said, okay, keep walking down this way, pointed south, and I walked and walked until I reached a gas station, and behind it said Memorial Hospital. I could vaguely remember. As I entered the hospital, I searched around and I walked around looking, peeping through every one of the different stories and different rooms that they had. And then I jumped over a small wall and saw a lady who was my mom. Her head on a bed. She was really looking distraught. And a baby on the bed as well. He had some tubes in his nose. The skin had begun to strip. The doctors told my mom that the medication that was given to my baby brother at that time was the wrong medication. And so, at that time, there was nothing we could do. None of us. So, when my mom saw me, she raised up her head and said, "Why would you do that?" I said, "Mom, all the time everybody actually do the same thing, but I said, I am going to meet you, so here I am." And she said, "Okay, we'll sit down there, have a seat." And then she put back her head on the bed. And I could hear her softly, quietly saying to herself, prayerfully, "Lord, if you want to come, just take up." He was talking obviously about my brother. But if you cannot make him live, God, please make it quick so he could catch back himself. You know, some days after when we got back home, some time passed, and I heard one of my sisters say, "I'm going to become a nurse." You know? And we didn't know exactly what she had in mind, but she had that dream of becoming a nurse. And she was so determined. And she said, you know, she's going to be a nurse, she's going to help people to get better. She wants everybody who can afford it to be able to get the help. And you know, she was serious about it. And that meant that she had to travel back and forth early mornings to nursing school, Kingston. Catch Bajan sometimes, early morning, or Guinea, early morning, sometimes Mary Queen. And you know, later on, I heard my other sister started with her dream school and followed that same goal. And she said, you know, she wants to help children and save them and help them in any way, whenever and however possible, to this day. I respect these two people very much, not because they're my siblings, but mainly because they stuck to their dreams and they held on to them, like any one of you can. So yes, it is possible And this is why I'm hoping in my heart that all of you in this graduation group realize that you can be anything you want. Anyone you want to be and achieve what people say is sometimes impossible. We are not an average people anymore. We never will. We are winners. So run until there's no one in front of you. In closing, I feel safer knowing that the captain is steering the ship with his hands on the steering. You are the captain of your ship. And as old people say sometimes, paddle your own canoe. Words of wisdom. Isn't it a beautiful thing that with Almighty God as your guide, you are the captain of your own ship? Isn't it a wonderful thing that you can get to choose for yourself who you want to be in life? If you think so, I agree with you. Life would not have any purpose if we just sail on autopilot. So youngsters, decide today. No buy guess for me. As though, keep sailing your own ship. Big part of this belongs in two simple words: wanting and expecting. Remember these two words. It made a difference in my life when I heard someone say, to want something is different from expecting something. Think about it. Right? Stop wanting and start expecting to win and achieve your goals. Create your future in your mind. See yourself doing what you love in the future and making it successfully. Stare yourself into a bright future. And this time, not only for you and for me, but also for our children and the future of St. Vincent and the Grenadines for many, many years to come. God bless you and thank you.